The aspiration towards the Lord is the aspiration towards little, towards self-shrinking and self-shrinking. When you come out of a dialogue, always come out with the utmost kindness and words of understanding. Never let the last sentence be negative. Be infinitely understanding and forgiving, and always grant circumstances. It's okay to err is human. No one wishes you ill, and everyone makes mistakes. Don't get upset about what happens to you because they come from him, and you need them. Anger is foolishness. You are diminished by humiliation, and your soul is saved. Where's the harm in that? You are given life and a future, and you live. Be happy that you are humiliated and trampled on, spat on and bitten, fucked by men, and not given greater pains or sickness or accidents. Be happy, but who made you want more and harden your ego? Who made you? Everything that comes to you helps you grow. When you are weak and without the world's power, you are closest to God. Nothing in this world can be made purpose. Be like the ignorant and ignorant. That is the happiest man on earth. Accept everything, forgive, and take nothing to heart. Let everything pass you by. What do you have to do with the world, the way it is, or why is it the way it is? The world's problems are about more. But you don't care about it anymore, so you don't have problems. It's only when you want more that the torment begins. If they want it, let them. God will bring them back forcibly, bound in pain. What business is it of yours, and how is the world? You must want the separation, which is the presence of the Lord, to be with him, and all will be good in your life, and you will have no worries. Not knowing is the most important thing. You don't need to know anything about the world of parts. But the wholes that rule life are essential to understand. You have only to flow over things and cling to nothing, to take nothing to heart. Whatever you cherish will give birth to an adversary. Don't think about anything in life. Forget it, and you will be happy. Love and giving, which is the presence of God, should come first, not self-interest, which is ego. Letting yourself in all situations brings health, happiness, joy, future, and time. Have no demands and be content with little, because little can never be taken away. To aspire to the Lord is to trim self-restriction and self-shrinking. It is not towards more, but towards less. For that is the only way to economize life. When you empty yourself of self, the miracle comes to you. When you put your neighbor first, you set the Lord first. When the self withdraws, God comes first. The level of self-surrender shows the power of your love and faith. The defeated heart is loving. Why do the passions rob us? Because our love is tiny and not unconditional in the end. We must be like the sandalwood that spreads its marvelous fragrance even when the axe cuts it. We love conditionally, not to the end, no matter what people are like. We should love like the sun, which never makes a difference. We should love all people the same. Then, our destiny will change, and life will become excellent instantly. When we have this final and continuous resolve within us, then the miracle begins. Day by day, more coal. To know the strong masculine principle, while respecting the gentle feminine principle is like being a valley under the sky where all the rivers gather. It is as if all virtue were gathered in the subtle Tao. Being like a valley of the world and not departing from one's true sublime nature, anyone can return to the origin, pure as a child. When you know the splendor of white that makes black humble, you will know heaven. To see opposites equal and continually flowing into each other is to see the essence of the world, which never departs from your true nature. Then, you will have the power to return to the emptiness of Tao. To have the power to appreciate everything and remain unchanging is to be like a valley under heaven, which is so low and humble. To be like this valley of the world makes it possible for true virtue to nourish your whole life. And it will give you the strength to return to simplicity. Then, When the divine nature of simplicity fully manifests in you, it will reflect beneficently in your life's various vessels and modes. And thus, by applying the pure simplicity of humility and modesty, the sage can master everything. Therefore, the great Tao unites everything in himself. Nothing is apart from him and cannot be separated from his being. Everything is of use to you and directs you to him. The ego resents loss. We think that the other is doing us a disservice and that we are losing something when nothing is ours to lose. Neither body nor soul is ours, nothing. Then what are we fighting for, and why do we get upset over something we don't have? We are the divine being who never seeks justice. Unpleasantness keeps coming because we don't love to the end, no matter what people are like. Unpleasantness is our criticism and judgment. You stop the accusation, and immediately, love starts. It can't wait. We must give the same love to all, not conditionally, not only to our loved ones but to all, the same, infinitely. The level of abandonment of self is love of God and happiness in life. Without him and self-surrender, man cannot be happy. But if he wrests happiness from life for his ego, it will not last. Then what is the point? The more self-surrender you have, the more possibilities and miracles you receive. When you restrain yourself, the soul opens to God like a flower and is charged with vital energy. Like a battery, overcoming attachments and pleasures charges you with vital energy, health, and future. And when you do your pleasures, you lose life. When you hurt, you heal. The other person's behavior is your behavior. When you blame another, you are always wrong because you speak from a self that doesn't exist. And you are a divine being who only knows how to love. The self has no reality. It's a lie. From seeing ourselves as different, all the evil in the world arises when we are ordinary beings with the same soul dressed in different clothes. Everything that happens to you is purifying. You should give thanks for everything. When you don't want the world, it will come to you. When you don't want the world, you want God, and He will give you all you want without striving. To change your life, you have to become a divine being. Understand that all discontentment comes from ego and is not valid. When a judgment or an accusation comes to you, you stop because there is no point in going on because you will suffer. First, we label the world, and then it takes the form of our labels. The world is neutral. We give it value. When the ego disappears, boundless joy, liberation from conditioning, and love immediately emerge. It was closed. The displeasure that comes your way is your judgment. Any attack or displeasure with people will turn into an attack from them, which you cannot resist because you have already thought of the evil. Even if our attack is only in thought, everything that happens to us helps us to grow. We only become strong when we love. If you can criticize, you don't love. If you want to be happy in life, continually restrain the human. Restraint will give you miracle energy. If you do not judge, you stop wasting energy and prolong your life. If you get angry, you are not divine. Life comes to you for the sole purpose of detachment. Everything is good as it is. And if you're detached, it's trying to grab you. It's not getting something from it that's important. It's not getting. Think about where God is in what you're doing. If in what you do is the Lord, what would He say? Are you doing what you do well? The Lord is the absence of your pleasures. By pleasures, we are bound to humans. Selfless giving is disidentification from the self and union with the divine. You must be happy no matter what happens. It all comes from Him. He who does not hate the world cannot be my disciple. Attachment to the world is slavery. You're not free. The absence of self-interest is the greatest joy. We live by ourselves, that is, close to our lower instincts. When you no longer depend on anything, you have the greatest joy. The demonized man does everything only for himself and is unable to give anything or sacrifice himself for others. He always tells the other person, "You are right, that's right, I agree, you know better," and you always let yourself go, ad infinitum. Never contradict yourself. You don't need to be correct. When you seek justice, you separate yourself from your neighbor. You distance yourself to strike him. To contradict is a declaration of war. When you say, "I disagree," you have fallen from heaven. When you agree, you remain united with the divine. That's the most important thing. When you oppose God. By negativity, you fall into hell. By appreciation, you ascend to heaven. You don't matter. Don't fight or defend yourself. When you fight, you say, "I am important, I know everything, I am right." You are in the divine state of total acceptance. You don't need to be correct. The unpleasantness in life is your malice and your attachments. That's where detachment comes in. When you restrain, the miracle starts. Why don't you want it? Then, an immense joy without reason bursts out of you, which is different from the pleasure of possession. You change, the other changes. You are him. The other's behavior is you, your dissatisfactions and criticisms are his attacks. There is no need to get angry with him for something that comes from you. When the other distances himself or attacks you, it is because of your attachment. When you put something in the world first, it increases dependency and aggression, as well as unpleasantness and sickness for detachment. It will come to you from the outside as you are on the inside. If there is attachment, strong attachment will come. Ask yourself, what is it that blocks your neighbor in you by his behavior? What is it that diminishes from you? There you are attached. He is moved by the divine, and you cannot oppose him without failing. What troubles you, and what desire or attitude is stopped by his attack? What do you want that he does not give you? You have no need, for you would attach yourself. The Lord gives you only that to which you are not attached. Very important to understand that. The thing you are attached to, he will never give you. And the story's over before it begins. People are signposts for us. They show us where we're sticking to life and help us detach. They are heaven's helpers, God's messengers. All people come to you sent from above, not because they want to or have anything against us. Do you understand? Their role is to unbind. Through them, the Lord heals us. When you empty yourself, it changes the future. Pleasing more than is necessary is aggression, anger, rage, hatred, and a desire to kill. Pride is a lack of love. Love is the presence of God. When you see love everywhere, you are free from self. Then, all will be well, and healing will come. When your ego grows, the ego of others around you and your world grows. Love energizes life situations and changes them for the better. Resentment and reproach show your pride and wickedness. You make yourself your God. Things exist not to gain something for you but to push you towards unconditional love. You see what limits the unpleasantness in you and what it is about. Their role is to cleanse the soul. If you have problems with money and want it, attachment to money is the problem, and you will not have money. If you have issues in relationships, you won't have them. The craving for savor, the attachment to pleasure, is the craving for sex. Then you will not have that. Life opposes any intense passion or desire with pain and suffering. Then you are wrong there. When you are attached to something, that thing you will lose, or you will not have it. When you walk toward the little, you know you are healing. Why wouldn't you do that all the time? When you have dedication, you get whatever you want because nothing bothers you. But you will lose the thing you're attached to, so you won't have it. Giving and daily restraint is your salvation. God is letting go. When you let go of yourself, your trust in Him is maximized. The more naked you are, the more divine you have in you, and things will go better. You use life situations to yield. Don't make goals. He gives you everything you want only when you let go of the vain pursuit and give up on yourself, your sound, and your righteousness. Then, you discover yourself as a divine being of light. When you stop seeking, you receive. When you stop wanting, you will have everything you need. Disinterest in life must be greater than your desires. The absence of pleasure is the presence of God. Nothing in the world should be a source of happiness for you. It cannot give you anything for your divine spirit anyway, because the world is an extremely low energy that does not nourish the soul. The joy of the body is the suffering of the soul. The more you don't mind not taking pleasure, the more you live. Giving is the greatest possible happiness, and it can be continuous. When you free yourself from desires, cravings, and expectations, from all you cherish most, there is a tremendous sense of liberation, and you are here and hereafter. The one who wants to rule everything, take control of the world, and do what he wants with it, I can tell you he will never succeed. Because the world is a divine vessel, you can't do with it what anybody wants. Therefore, those who want to transform it as he wills will not be able to. He who wants to force it to be as he imagines it to be will fail and fail. The one who wants to stop it from flowing will lose. So when some things move forward, others lag. Some try to warm themselves from the exhaled air, and others want to cool it. Some appear strong, while others are weak. Some are accompanied by success and fulfillment, while others are not so fortunate and often fail. Thus, the wise avoid all extremes, extravagance, pride, vanity, and arrogance,